Imagine water. Silent, endless, patient. It moves around every obstacle. It carves valleys, nourishes life, carries ships across the ocean, and in time shapes even stone. You hear it now, don't you? The quiet rhythm of a river, steady, unstoppable. Water is not hurried, yet it never fails to arrive. What if I told you, money works the same way? Not as a battle to be fought, not as a prize locked behind walls, but as a current that already flows around you, waiting for you to align with it, to open your inner channel so it can move through your life without resistance. But here's the truth most never speak aloud. Right now, countless men and women are standing in the river of abundance, and yet they are dying of thirst. Why? Because of invisible dams, blocks of fear, guilt, shame, and scarcity, built brick by brick inside the mind. Have you felt that heaviness? The bill that arrives like a storm, the sinking fear of not having enough, the quiet shame when you compare yourself to others, the inner voice that whispers, maybe this is all you'll ever have. If that pain feels familiar, stay with me, because in the next few minutes we will step into an ancient truth, one that Florence Scovel Shinn herself taught nearly a century ago. She believed that words and symbols carry the keys to prosperity, and water, the purest, most sacred element on earth, can wash away the chains of financial fear. So let me ask you, what if the very glass of water in your hand held the power to rewrite your destiny? What if wealth was not something to chase, but something to attract, like a river to the sea? When was the last time you spoke to yourself with faith instead of doubt? Here in this moment, you are not powerless. You are not broken. You are a vessel, and vessels are meant to be filled. Affirm with me silently or aloud. I am open. I am ready. I am worthy of abundance. Money flows to me freely, like water returns to the ocean. In this video, I will reveal how to use water, not as a symbol alone, but as a living tool to dissolve financial blocks, reprogram the mind, and magnetize prosperity into your life. It is simple. It is profound, and if you listen with your whole being, it may shift the way you see money forever. Stay until the end, because the method you'll learn today is not theory. It is a ritual, a practice, a gateway. And once you understand it, the current of wealth will no longer be something you chase, but something you embody. Because just like water, your abundance was never gone. It was only waiting for you to flow. Water waits for nothing, and yet it waits for everything. It moves in silence, slipping past stone, smoothing edges, and carrying life wherever it touches. Stand beside a river and listen. There is no rush, no struggle, and yet it arrives always, without fail. And that flow is a secret of your own life, a secret about money, abundance, and the energy you call wealth. But many sit at the river's edge and remain thirsty. You may feel this in your own life. Bills stacked on the table, the quiet panic of not knowing how the next payment will come, the shame of wanting more yet believing you do not deserve it. Have you asked yourself, why does it feel like money resists me? Why do I work harder, only to end up with less? Why do I feel blocked when all I seek is freedom? The answer is simple, though it has been hidden from most. Money, like water, flows according to the law of belief. What you speak into the currents of your life, they carry back to you. If your words are soaked in fear, your waters return with lack. If your words are alive with faith, your waters return with prosperity. Your word is your wand, and when spoken into water, it is magnified, reflected, and carried into the depths of your own subconscious. Consider this. Every cell of your body is made of water. The words you speak do not fall into the air and vanish. They ripple through you, imprinting themselves upon the living waters within. This is why you must not speak words of poverty, for the body listens. This is why you must not curse your finances, for the river obeys. When you bless the water with truth, it carries that blessing into your being, and the flow of abundance opens once again. Let these affirmations wash over you now. I drink in divine abundance, and it fills every part of my life. I drink in divine abundance, and it fills every part of my life. Money flows to me freely, like water returning to the sea. Money flows to me freely, like water returning to the sea. I am open. I am ready. I am worthy of prosperity. I am open. I am ready. I am worthy of prosperity. My words are rivers, and they carve new pathways of wealth. My words are rivers, and they carve new pathways of wealth. Perhaps you wonder why, if this law is so simple, do so many remain bound by financial struggle? The reason lies in resistance. Just as a dam blocks the current of a river, fear and doubt block the current of wealth. People curse their own supply without knowing it. They repeat phrases such as, "I never have enough," or "I can't afford this," and with each word the subconscious obeys, building stronger walls around their river of abundance. The realignment begins the moment you stop speaking against yourself. The river does not argue with the rock. It simply flows around it, dissolves it over time, and continues. So must you. Release resistance, release fear, and bless what you hold in your hand. Even if it is a single coin, bless it. Even if it is a glass of water, bless it. In the blessing, you align with the divine rhythm of supply. Now breathe deeply. Imagine yourself standing before a vast body of water, the waves reflecting the sun. This water is your life. Each drop carries the memory of your words, your thoughts, your faith. As you speak now, it changes. As you drink now, it enters you. You are not apart from the current, you are the current. I align with the rhythm of divine supply. I align with the rhythm of divine supply. The water within me carries abundance into every corner of my life. The water within me carries abundance into every corner of my life. Think of a moment in your past when money felt scarce, when fear made you heavy, when you whispered to yourself, "Maybe I will never have enough." That memory has shaped you. It has been poured into your waters again and again. And yet, in this very moment, the memory can be rewritten. For what is water if not a vessel of renewal? The challenge you face is not in the world outside, it is within. The block is not the absence of money, it is the presence of fear. The twist is this: the very thing you believe is holding you down can be the very tool that lifts you up. The water you drink every day, the water that flows through you, is waiting for your word, waiting for your blessing, waiting for you to command it with faith. And the impact: when you bless water with truth, you bless yourself. When you drink with intention, you drink in prosperity. When you speak abundance into the river must return abundance to you. The law does not fail. It is as sure as the tide that returns to the shore, as certain as the rain that falls from the sky. So let your word flow like water. Let your faith charge every glass you drink. Let your doubts dissolve like stones washed away by the current. For you are not standing beside the river, you are the river. And when you flow, nothing can hold you back. The ocean meets the shore with a truth most of us forget: it never resists. The waves do not argue with the rocks. They do not fight the cliffs. They do not cling to the sand. They rise. They fall. They return. And in their returning, they shape the world in silence. You may be fighting your own waves today. Fighting bills that arrive like storms. Fighting the anxiety of not having enough. Fighting the deep exhaustion of always struggling. But let me ask you, what if the fight itself is the block? What if your resistance to lack is the very energy that multiplies it? Have you noticed how struggle seems to attract more struggle? Have you felt how desperation seems to push away what you seek? That is the law of non-resistance. It teaches that when you push against life, life pushes back. When you chase money in fear, money slips through your hands like water. But when you release, when you trust, when you open, abundance flows to you in its own rhythm. Your word is your wand. When you declare that you no longer fight, but instead allow, you become the vessel through which wealth moves. You stop damming the river with doubt, and the current carries you. This law is not passive, it is powerful. To realign with it is to affirm that you no longer beg for supply. You assume supply. You no longer demand out of fear. You bless out of trust. Say this with me, softly, but with certainty. I do not resist the flow of prosperity. I move with it. I do not resist the flow of prosperity. I move with it. Money finds me with ease, for I no longer chase it. Money finds me with ease, for I no longer chase it. My faith is my wealth. My trust is my treasure. I rest in the rhythm of divine supply. I rest in the rhythm of divine supply. Let us look closer. Many believe that if they stop struggling, they will have nothing. They think that letting go means giving up. But look again at the ocean. Does it ever give up? No, it simply moves in its rhythm, without fear, without delay. Non-resistance does not mean inaction. It means alignment. It means you let life flow to you without demanding. It must come through one path, one person or one plan. I know this is difficult. There were moments in your life when you held on tightly to what little you had, believing that letting go meant losing everything. There were times you clenched your fists around pennies, when your heart burned with fear of tomorrow. The challenge is that this very clenching created more. You built walls around your river, and the water could not flow. But here is the twist. The moment you open your hands, the moment you say, I release this fear, the current rushes in. Life never withholds supply. It only waits for you to stop resisting it. The impact of this shift is profound. When you stop chasing, money begins seeking you. When you stop resisting, opportunities knock on doors you thought were closed. When you bless and trust, the law of non-resistance carries you into provision you could never have. Now imagine yourself standing before a clear stream. Place your hand in the water. Feel its coolness. Notice how it slips between your fingers no matter how tightly you try to grasp it. And yet, when you cup your hands gently, without tension, the water gathers and rests within your palm. This is the picture of wealth, not clenched, but received, not chased, but allowed. I receive with open hands. I receive with open hands. I release struggle, and abundance returns to me. I release struggle, and abundance returns to me. And now, take this truth into your daily life. Each time you drink water, whisper over it words of allowance, words of trust. Tell it, I do not resist, I flow. Then drink, and let that current become your own. The sky carries another truth as well. Look at the rain. It does not fall only on the deserving, nor does it ask permission from the soil. It pours where it will, nourishing all, and the rain is never scarce. It is part of a greater cycle, returning again and again. So too is your supply. Have you ever looked at your glass of water and thought, this is nothing? Have you dismissed it as ordinary, forgetting that it holds the same power as the ocean, the same rhythm as the rain? Every time you bless it, you remind yourself, supply is constant. Supply is divine. Supply is for me. But too often we forget to bless. We complain, we doubt. We say this isn't enough, and the water listens. The body listens. The subconscious listens. It returns to us what we speak. The law of the spoken word is inseparable from the law of prosperity. If your word is lack, lack multiplies. If your word is wealth, wealth multiplies. So I invite you to practice this simple act. Take a glass of water, place your hands around it, and declare your truth into not a wish, not a hope, but a command of faith. Then drink it, knowing that you are drinking your own declaration. Say it with me. As I drink, I take in divine supply. As I drink, I take in divine supply. My body, my mind, my life overflow with prosperity. My body, my mind, my life overflow with prosperity. This water carries wealth into every part of my being. This water carries wealth into every part of my being. Perhaps you have been waiting a long time, hoping for a breakthrough, believing it lies outside of you in a job, in a person, in a chance. But the impact of this practice is the revelation that the breakthrough has always been within. You are the vessel. You are the river. You are the release resistance. Bless your water. Speak life into it. Drink with faith. For in these simple acts you remind your soul of its true law. Abundance is your birthright. Supply is your nature. And prosperity is already flowing toward you. Look at the vessel. An empty cup cannot serve until it is filled. And yet, the moment it is filled, it can overflow. Many of you today feel like an empty vessel. You wake with the weight of lack, with the heaviness of waiting. You tell yourself, if only I had more, then I could give, then I could live, then I could rest. But pause for a moment. What if the very truth you seek is this? You were never meant to be the source. You were always meant to be the vessel. Do you feel the exhaustion of carrying life as though it all depends on you? Do you feel the burden of believing you must make money happen by force, by toil, by endless struggle? And yet, what if the promise is this? The vessel is not responsible for its own filling. The river fills the cup. The divine supply fills the vessel. The only question is, are you open or are you closed? The law of prosperity teaches that the source is infinite, but man experiences lack when he identifies as the source, rather than the vessel. You are not meant to squeeze life out of your own effort. You are meant to align with the flow that already exists. Your word is your wand, and with that word you declare yourself ready to receive. The blockage is not in the supply. The blockage is in the vessel refusing to open. Let these words move through you. I am the vessel of divine abundance. I am the vessel of divine abundance. I am open to receive, and I overflow with prosperity. I am open to receive, and I overflow with prosperity. Supply is endless, and I am its willing channel. Supply is endless, and I am its willing channel. My life is a river, and wealth flows through me in perfect rhythm. My life is a river, and wealth flows through me in perfect rhythm. Now let us speak honestly. Many live as though life is a closed container. They say, I cannot give, for I have too little. I cannot trust, for I may lose what I have. In clinging, they become sealed, and in sealing themselves, they stop the flow. The law cannot fill what is closed. And so they suffer, believing that life is cruel, when in truth, it is their refusal to open that has created their thirst. The backstory of humanity is written in this struggle. Again and again, people have believed they must be the source of their supply. They have worked their bodies into exhaustion, sacrificed joy for survival, and yet remained empty. The detail is clear: when you act as the source, you will always come up short. The challenge is this: fear makes you cling to what little you have, and in clinging, you cut yourself off from what is infinite. But here is the twist: the vessel was never designed to produce. It was designed to receive. The moment you shift your identity from source to channel, from beggar to vessel, from chaser to receiver, everything changes. You no longer need to force money into your life. You simply align with the law, open yourself, and allow the river to flow through you. The impact of this truth is life-changing. You stop striving, you stop begging, you stop waiting. You begin to live in trust, in openness, in rhythm with the law of supply. And what happens when the vessel is filled? It overflows. The overflow blesses others. The overflow confirms abundance. The overflow is your proof that you are aligned. Imagine a chalice placed beneath a flowing spring. The spring does not worry if the chalice is worthy. It simply fills. The chalice does not question if the water will return tomorrow. It simply receives. And once full, it pours into the lives of others. This is your life. You are not called to fear the emptiness. You are called to trust the filling. Speak it with me now. I am filled. I am blessed. I am overflowing. I am filled. I am blessed. I am overflowing. I trust the divine supply, for it never fails. I trust the divine supply, for it never fails. I am the vessel, and I am always replenished. I am the vessel, and I am always replenished. Think of the times you believed you were empty. Think of the seasons when your bank account showed lack, when your heart whispered despair. Those memories are real, but they are not eternal. They were moments of forgetting who you are. They were times when you mistook yourself for the source instead of the vessel. The truth is, supply was never gone. It was waiting for your openness. And so I invite you into this practice. Each morning, take a glass of water, hold it in your hands, and whisper, I am the vessel, and I overflow with divine supply. Drink slowly, with reverence, and know that this water is not just quenching thirst. It is carrying your word into every part of your being. In the evening, repeat the ritual, blessing the water with gratitude for the day's provision, no matter how small. Over time, you will feel the shift, not in the world first, but in yourself. And when the inner vessel opens, the outer world must follow. This is the law. This is the rhythm. This is the promise. You were never asked to create the river. You were only asked to carry it. So be the vessel, be the channel, be the overflowing cup, and let prosperity pour through you until your life becomes the testimony of a truth too deep to be denied. The river does not ask permission to flow. It simply moves, carving valleys, nourishing life, unstoppable in its rhythm. So too must you stop asking permission to live in abundance. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop waiting for worthiness. Stop waiting for the right moment. The truth is simple. The right moment is now. You have heard the law. You have spoken the affirmations. You have remembered that you are not the source, but the vessel. So what excuse remains? Will you continue to sip from an empty cup, or will you open yourself to be filled? The choice is yours, and it is a choice that cannot be delayed. For every day you remain in resistance, the river waits, untapped. And every day you choose faith, it floods through you with power. You are not meant to chase money. You are meant to embody prosperity. You are not meant to fear lack. You are meant to walk as the overflowing cup, blessing everything you touch. Let this be your wake-up call. Abundance is not coming to you one day in the future. It is already here, waiting for you to receive. Now take this message beyond these words. Practice the ritual. Bless your life into your day. Walk as if supply is already yours, because it is. And before you leave, I ask you to act, not tomorrow, not later, now. If these words have stirred something in your spirit, claim it. Subscribe to this channel, share it with someone who is still struggling, and return each day to drink in these truths. Don't just listen, live it, because the river flows, and it waits for no one.